Hey guys, it's Rebecca Verstadt, and I'm going to be doing a makeup look today. I have to go out to the post office and mail a package to a friend of mine, and then I sold something on Depop that was a malachite pendant, and I handmade earrings to go with it. So I figured, well, why not do get ready with me? I don't know how much talking I'll be doing in this. I've had very, very little sleep, as you can tell by my under eyes. I'm like running on fumes here. I only had one cup of coffee yesterday, and I got really tired about like 1:30 this morning, so I went to bed at 1:30 this morning and laid awake until 5:30 this morning. So I fell asleep for a couple of hours, and I woke up and I was awake for like an hour, and then I dozed back off, and I'm having a really rough start to my Wednesday here. So I'm going to be playing with the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette in the Morphe 39S, which is their Such a Gem palette. I'm going to be doing kind of like a purple and blue look. I did put on a purple shirt, and it's a 3/4 sleeve. It's like 75 degrees outside right now here in Florida, and I'm freezing. I will show you like the outfit and stuff when I get all done. I'll do like a quick walk outside. It is raining. It's been raining all morning. So yeah. I'm from Florida and it's 75 and I'm freezing. So I want my 90-degree weather back. I don't know how people up north do it. I just really don't. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in. I don't have anything on my face right now. I will do the top part of my eyes first and then do the rest of my stuff after I get at least the tops done. So. Just to be safe, I mean, I know I've got like skincare and stuff on. I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics eyeshadow primer. This is their waterproof, and this is sold out on their website right now. I did check when I went to put it in my description box for another video that I think it's like $8.99, $6.99, something like that. I got it free with a BH order. If you keep an eye on their site, they have really good sales. They've always got something going on. And I literally take it from lash line all the way up to my eyebrows. And the video that I edited this morning, it just finished exporting. It was like a 45-minute long swatch video that I got down to like 32 minutes. It was a lot of shadows that I swatched. And I'm still testing out this like beauty blender sponge that my subscriber sent me. Every time I get it wet, and it feels like there's like jelly in the center of it, but every time I get it wet and I go to like squeeze water out of it, suds comes out of it. So I don't know if that's normal. I have washed it since I used it the first time, but I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it doesn't like me. I honestly, I don't know. All right, trying to get the palette open. And because this palette has some, oh, that's glitter all over. I'm like, what the heck is all over my palette? It's got like one of the glitter shadows got excited and decorated the entire top lid of the palette. And I've got white pants on. I think I'm gonna go in with the shade Pink Prize, which is technically one of their pressed pigments. It's like a purpley pink lavender. Hello, I'm blurry. Purpley pink lavender shade. I haven't worked with this palette since I bought it a couple of months ago. I did try and use it as a comparison. I got eyeshadow, or I mean eyelash or eyebrow hanging out on my face. I haven't really used it since I did the several looks with it the month that I got it. Because there are days when I wake up and I just feel like today, like crap. I've been going through it with my fibromyalgia lately. And I tried using, I think, 1 or 2 shades in here for comparison with some of the other palettes that I've gotten recently. And I pulled it to do comparison swatches with, I think, the ColourPop palette and one other palette. And there really wasn't anything in here. The shade that I was thinking would be something similar was nowhere near what I was thinking. So that's fine. At least I took the chance to bring it out and swatch it and compare, and just because it didn't have a shade that was similar to the ColourPop palette, that's perfectly okay. It's just I was curious, so I pulled it out. And since I haven't used the Jeffree Star palette in a couple months either, since I got that, because I've been rotating through my palettes and stuff, I figured I would pop one of those shades on somewhere. All right, for a darker shade, I think I'm gonna go into Grape Mines because it's almost the same color as my shirt. And this one is also a pressed pigment. It is the same form, actually, it's okay, it has the same mark next to it. It's the same formula as Pink Prize, so these should, operative word there, should work well together. And at the end of this, I'm going to stop it before I put mascara on. I'm going to do another battle of video today for that. I am testing out the Thrive Cosmetics mascara. Somebody told me that it's a tubing mascara, and I'm like, what the heck is a tubing mascara? I was like, are these kids coming up with new fandangled terms again? No, they're not. It's a different type of mascara, and I was unaware that that's what that was. Basically what it is think of, have you ever made like pigs in a blanket, which is basically where you take those croissant tubes and you break them open and you either take like the Vienna sausages, which are disgusting, or hot dogs, and you roll them up inside that and then you bake them. That is what I think of when I was reading, or at least that's what I thought of when I was reading the description for the tubing mascara. Basically what it does is it takes your lashes and it wraps product around your lashes, because I noticed that when I would take my mascara off, it was like pilling up or balling up and like sticking to my face, and I was like, why is it doing that? That's like really weird. So after doing some research this morning, I realized that what it does is it takes your lashes and it wraps mascara around your lashes, so it gives you nice length. It's not really going to give you a whole lot of volume, but I've got a ton of lashes anyways, so it's not like that's something that I'm specifically looking for. I'm looking for something to make my lashes look darker and more there. I'm not really worried about looking at the aspect of, you know, volume, because I have plenty of lashes, just like I got plenty of eyebrows. I really don't have to do anything with my eyebrows, but I do because my hair is darker than my eyebrows. So I do like to make my eyebrows darker with brow product. So with doing some research, tubing mascara, it's supposed to only come off with like hot water, which I have found that to be accurate. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it off, but I always wash my face with hot water anyways. But I noticed that trying to use a makeup wipe on it, on the Kogen Dough makeup wipes that I'm still testing out, it just wasn't like working how I wanted it to work, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. I know now. It really does take hot water in order to break the product up enough to get it to release from your lashes. So it's kind of like a coating over your lashes, kind of like if you use those like henna dyes for your hair. It's kind of like the same idea, where it coats around the object and then envelops it so that it's, you know, encased in the product. So I thought that was kind of it's neat. It's something new that I hadn't really, you know, heard of a whole lot. And I have silver eyeshadow like literally all over this palette from me pulling it out the other day. I'm gonna have to like clean this palette. It's covered in like little silver particles from one of the center shades. My eye was itching. I'm being like kind of careful where I put this purple shadow because it is a pressed pigment. So it might look a little messy right now, but that's okay. And I'm not worried about what's going on my lid. I'm gonna put something else there, so. And this is one of the fairer brushes that I got in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. I really kind of like it. It's a little odd. It's like kind of domed in the center, but it's kind of flat at the same time. It's like it couldn't quite make up its mind as to whether or not it wanted to be flat or round. So it's kind of flound, flat and round. And I didn't set the eyeshadow base, so this is kind of grabbing funny in a few spots, but that's also my fault for not setting the eyeshadow base. So it's just taking a little bit of extra effort. And again, I'm not really worried about what's going on, you know, down here on my lid. Looks like I need more of the lilac-y pink shade on this side. Got a little black speck. A little black. Oh, I guess those are purple specks. I was like, I got little black specks on my nose. Where'd those come from? I don't have anything else on my face. I just washed it. Put skincare on. Alright. I'm debating between a couple of shimmers. I've got this Amethyst Awe. Again, wrong placement for Rebecca, but that's okay. So I've got this Amethyst Awe shade. And then we have, what is this? It's Violet. And then we have Perry Tinkle. And I think the Amethyst Awe shade is going to be closer to the purple I put on. So I'm going to put that over the, like, half of my lid. Never mind. I'm running on fumes, like I said. Not awake. And Amethyst Awe is also considered a pressed pigment, even though it's a shimmer shade. Hello. Pigment on brush. Pigment on brush going eye. Kind of. Kind of not. So let me do the same thing over here, and then I will get this bad boy wet. I mean, it's kind of going on my eye, but it's funny with some of these Morphe shadows, they are very unique. Some of them work well with a dry brush, some of them work better with a wet brush, some of them like only your finger. I'm gonna dip this in water like I usually do, and might as well run it over the shade on my hand. And let's try dipping this back in with a wet brush. Oh, hello. There you are, beautiful. You guys see the difference now? Am I too far away? Just scooch forward. Almost fell off. Almost fell off the stool. That would have been funny. I'd have had to leave that in the video. Probably put it at the end with the bloopers or something. Or make bloopers. Watch Rebecca bust her ass. Oh crap, I just got it up too high. Well, let's see if I can fix that with the other shade. See, sometimes you can fix things. Sometimes. So my friend I did the live stream for Friday, and I were talking yesterday, day before, about the looks that I did. She's like, well, I like the colors of this one on this eye, but I like the shape of the other one. So I'm almost tempted to do another live stream where I do two different like graphic looking looks for her using the colors that she preferred. And trying to be more artsy with it, but also walking her through step by step everything that she can do in order to achieve that, because I want her to be able to watch what I'm doing and then recreate it on herself. And I think that's the only thing that we do when we're doing like tutorials, is we want to teach people what we're doing. Like right now I'm like lightly going over that top line, and anywhere that looks like it needs to be filled in, I'm going in with a little bit of shadow each time. And I'm doing like a rounded shape. And then I'm going to come back over here and match that. But I think that's what most of us have in mind when we're doing a tutorial, is we want people to look at what we're doing and then be able to recreate it on themselves. That is if they prefer. Okay, other than fallout and stuff like that, it's looking okay. I'm gonna grab my color switch here and just kind of knock off any powder that's on this brush. I'm gonna dip it back into the water and do what I usually do to, you know, make sure the product is worked through. I'm gonna go into that Peri Twinkle shade. And I'm gonna put that in the inner part of the eye. I don't do a whole lot of cut creases on my channel. I can, but because of how I apply shadows, I don't really need to unless I'm trying to like intensify something. Plus I have hooded eyes, so if I put like a dot of stuff down here and I look up, I'm gonna have product all the way up to here. So I have to be very careful with cut creases, and I know there's a definite line right there. I will be working with that in just a minute. If you guys ever have questions about what I'm doing, like the light tapping motions that I'm doing to like press, I'm putting the shadow down and then lightly swiping it to like press and drag the shadow onto my lid. Like, even though some people can see what I'm doing, I know there are people that are visually impaired that cannot. So if you want more talk through detail, like, you know, pick up the shadow and then press and drag lightly in short, small strokes to get the shadow to adhere to your eyelid, that kind of thing. That way you know exactly what I'm doing. I'm holding the brush in the middle, and there's actually a little indent on this brush, which is kind of nice. This is the e.l.f. brushes, and they have a kit of these on their website that's usually like $20-something. It's on sale right now for like $15, and I plan on buying it. I bought a bunch of the brushes singularly off of Amazon through Wet n Wild because I really do enjoy the few Wet n Wild brushes that I have, and these wash super easy. I've never had problems. Like, if I notice that a shadow is like staining or something, I just make sure that I suds up the brush and then let it sit with soap in it for like a few seconds while I work on another brush, and then I will work it through with my little scrubby guy again and then rinse it, and 9 times out of 10 that's going to get the product out. I don't usually have problems with getting product out of my brush, or like where you can see the color. And these brushes are like white with little pink tips, so it's very noticeable if you do leave shadow in the brushes or you don't wash them properly. You can see that there's product still in there. All right, now that I've got this much done, I'm going to press over the entire lid. And what that does is it kind of blends the shadows together so that there's not quite as harsh of a line there. I'm going to go back into that first brush that I used and just kind of buff over the purple shade that I put up a little higher because, oops, I screwed up. And I didn't pick up any more product. I just am blending out that top line. And if you notice when you're blending that, like on this eye I don't have any problems, but on this eye I've got some patchy spots in here and over here. That's when I'll come back with this little brush. I didn't pick up any more product. I'm just gonna kind of go back over that and kind of blend it at the same, I'm blurry, blend it at the same time. So with whatever product was left on this brush when I used it a second ago, I'm just kind of reapplying in that one spot where it looks a little patchy and then blending out that line. And then you can blend with your bigger brush after to make sure that everything looks the way you want it to. And I do carry my shadow up quite high because of the fact that I have hooded eyelids. And then just using an always off makeup cloth to get any product off. Because I still have to put corrector and concealer on will finish up the top lid when I get done with that. So let me do base products. I'm going to come back with blush, bronzer, highlight, corrector, and concealer on, and we will finish up the eyes, and then I will record the mascara video separate and then come back and do my outro. So I will be right back. Okay, so while I was out there playing with makeup and whatnot, I ended up accidentally taking off some of the sides of my eyes, which is fine. I can fix that now. And I just realized I was sitting at my desk doing this, so my desk is very dark. For those of you that have ever seen me live stream at my desk, so things just were a little unblended. Okay, so face, I've got the, let me zoom you out for just a second and then I'll do the rest of my eyes. I have Hypothermia on from Jeffree Star. I threw the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow and Frog over that. I already had a lip gloss on. This is the LA Colors in the shade Just Kissed. And then I just threw the NYX Cosmetics Rigor Float over it. The Maybelline Fit Me concealer, everywhere I've tried to use it, even like on my like chin or my cheek trying to hide blemish like scars, has been burning my skin lately. So I pulled out my e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer, and I'm not quite happy with what it's doing right here on my skin. And when I zoom you guys back in, I'll show it to you. Blush is from Pacifica. Bronzer is a mix of the Pacifica one and my Lumi Bronze. And I did Wet n Wild Brow Pencil and Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. And that's where we're at right now. So I will move forward, and I have something that's making my eye itch. Probably a lash. So I guess before I get started with the rest of the eye look, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a liner in my waterline. I'm gonna use this NYX one. This is the Jumbo Eye Pencil in Oyster, and I'm blurry. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw that in my waterline now because it's purple and iridescent and pretty, and I kind of like that there's a little mirror on the back of this blush bronzer thing. Makes it handy. And the other thing with this e.l.f. concealer, because I was going to pick up a darker shade because the one I've got is in Fair Warm, and it just seems too light. I mean, when it dries, it's about the same color of my skin, but for whatever reason, while it's still drying down, it looks like super fair on me, and I'm not quite here for that. So I was going to pick up another shade, but if you can see how it's like got little separation marks here on my skin, and I tried, this was before I powdered it. It's got these weird marks and it didn't want to blend out on my nose. It didn't want to like blend out through this area. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. A little odd if you ask me, but all right, so before I do anything with the top, I'm going to go ahead and pull the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. I'm going in to the shade Blue Monday. It's kind of like a purpley shade. It's like a purpley blue, and this is a Vera Mona flat shader brush, and I'm going to push that right up under my lash line. And I'm going to go almost all the way in. I'm just kind of lightly wiggling it right up as close to the base of my lashes so that I can get it. And it's almost the same shade as my shirt. And then I'm gonna close my eye slightly to like drag it out here at the edge of my eye. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Went on a little bit too far on the other eye, so I gotta make them match. I went ahead and got that video that finished exporting when I first started recording. It's now uploading to YouTube, and I watched Hannah from Smoky Glow's video, and I watched a Kelly Gooch video, and I started watching Samantha March, all while I was playing with makeup. You know, it makes me wonder what other YouTubers do. You know, there are some YouTubers that watch other YouTube channels, and then there are some that don't. And I'm always curious about the people that I watch, if any of them, if any of them watch me at all. Most likely they don't. I know I had my feelings kind of hurt because I messaged, I'm going to go back in with the purple shade and meet the bottom and the top lash lines together. I guess I'll keep it kind of rounded today. But I messaged another channel that I used to watch like daily, and you know, we were talking about, you know, YouTube and stuff like that, and she had posted something, I guess, on her IG stories or something. And so I messaged her and we were talking, and she basically told me my channel is shit. She doesn't like my videos. She wouldn't ever watch. She watched like part of a video, and she said, I just couldn't get into it, and you're too boring, and you're too this, and you're too that. And now I'm scaring the camera again. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I found you a couple of months ago when you only had X amount of subscribers, and I started watching you, and I enjoy your content, but now I'm not quite so sure how I feel. And then I started like watching like what she was posting, and it was all the same stuff over and over and over and over and over again. And there was another channel that I started watching about the same time as I started watching this girl's channel, and she started doing the same thing. It was the same stuff over and over and over again, except for the other girl can't pronounce anything to save her life. She's young, and I tried to correct her on how to pronounce something, and she's like, well, I was told by so-and-so that it was okay if I said it wrong. I said, but it makes you sound unintelligent. You know how to say it correctly, but yet you don't. So that kind of like makes me scratch my head. And I'm not trying to be like a rude, you know what, about it, but it's just, if you know how to say something correctly and you constantly say it the wrong way, even though you can and know how to say it the proper way, why don't you change that? Just trying to make this side match the other side. This eye is different than this one because of my stroke. So I have to do things a little differently with one eye versus the other. I'm scaring the camera again. You know what, I probably ought to just pick up some of that pink shade that I was using and use that to buff it. I mean, that would make more sense. So I don't know. I'm almost tempted to put up a poll on like Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Patreon and ask the same question and see what kind of answers I get. Because I am curious to see who, you know, watches people that are, you know, that are their subscribers. Do they actually take the time to watch other channels, or do they just subscribe and then never watch again? All right, I'm gonna go in with the the Perry Tinkle shade right here. And the brush is dry and it's not working that well. Ended up kind of being a monochromatic look minus the lip. I don't really have a whole lot of like purple lip products. And then I'm going to go in with this Lavender shade, which is like a topper shade, which is right above the last shade. And I'm just going to kind of press that on the inner corner. It's kind of like a topper shade. And then going back to the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette, I'm gonna grab Canon, press that right in the center of my lid. And then, whoops, with whatever's left, I'm gonna blob it all in one spot on the eyebrow. And I went in a straight line straight up. I didn't like bring it anywhere else. Ooh, almost dropped the mirror. I have a spot right here on my eye that looks patchy. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and throw on this CoverGirl. This is the Intensify Me Intense Black Liquid Liner. It's been a while since I've used it. It's got a itty bitty little tiny pen tip. Okay, if the tip was bigger, this would go a heck of a lot faster. All right, and I don't even have a black liner on my tray. Let me grab a black liner and then I will record. I'll do upper rim waterline liner and I'll record the mascara video and I will be right back to do the final look. It's so rainy, so you can't see my makeup. Let's see if I can. There you go. Some light. Okay, now that I am finally mascara, I went ahead and grabbed, I don't even know where I put it, the Smashbox Always On Gel Liner and put that in my upper waterline. And that's basically all that I've done to my face since you saw me a few seconds ago. Go ahead and take everything down because I've got to get going before the post office closes. Last time I knew it was like 3 o'clock, but I have been recording for a while and I recorded 2 videos. So anyways, if you like this makeup look, let me know. It's kind of monochromatic minus the lip. The lip again is this root beer float shade. And the website does say it's a mauve, so. And I have it on over a gloss right now. And the gloss smells like, what is that stuff? Tutti Frutti? Bubble gum? I don't know. The one that comes in the yellow pack and that we used to get when we were kids and no, Juicy Fruit. That's it, Juicy Fruit. The yellow pack, we would buy the 17 packs of gum and stuff like half of it in our mouth and just. So anyways, the lip gloss actually smells like that. Or I know that there's other brands that came out with things, they call them Tutti Frutti, and it's basically the same thing. So anyways, this is the finished look. I might just throw on a pair of earrings. I gotta go grab my shoes and I already got my weapon. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this look. And I did the mascara video. I ended up having to fix my under eye here because I stabbed myself in the eye with the wand and I went and blinked. So it wouldn't be a me video if I didn't stab myself in the eye with something. Anyways, I'm Rebecca Reset. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to hit the like button. That really helps out my channel with engagement. Even just a comment that says hi, I'll say hi back. So anyways, I will see you guys in another video very soon. Hopefully you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye.